What if owning your own studio meant creating more freedom, more income, more flexibility, more impact, and more time with your family? And maybe a business that actually supports the life you really want to live. That is the possibility I want to talk to you about today. Because I meet so many women who dream about opening a fitness studio or a wellness studio, but they are afraid of what business ownership might really mean. They picture working 7 days a week, teaching every Pilates class, living at the studio, constantly worrying about money. And yes, a studio can become that kind of business if it is not built correctly, but it doesn't have to. I have worked with more than 150 studio launches, and I have seen what is possible when you build the business intentionally from the very beginning. A studio can become a business that runs with a great team. It can create recurring membership revenue. It can give you the ability to step away without everything falling apart. It can give you opportunities to travel, to spend time with your family, or simply have a Tuesday afternoon that belongs to you. It can give you the chance to build something meaningful while also building wealth. And I think that is such an important distinction. We're not just talking about creating a job in fitness. We are talking about creating a business. A real business has systems. A real business has leadership. A real business can eventually operate without the owner doing every single task. That is what we want to build. When I opened my studios, I came from 15 years in finance. I understood numbers, I understood business, and I had worked with very successful business owners. And even with that background, I still learned very quickly that opening a brick and mortar fitness studio is its own world. There were so many moving pieces. But after opening my own studio, helping others open theirs, and eventually writing the franchise manuals for a major fitness brand, I began to see the patterns. The successful studios were not successful because the owners were simply lucky. They had the right model. They had the right pricing. They knew their numbers. They understood their clients. They had a clear marketing strategy. They built strong teams. They created sales systems. They focused on retention. They knew how to manage the business. And most importantly, they were not reinventing everything every single day. They had systems. And this is where I believe Studio in a Box can completely change the experience of opening your studio. Instead of sitting at your kitchen table trying to figure it all out, how to build a financial projection from scratch, you have a framework. Instead of wondering what needs to be in your business plan, you have a business plan that you can customize. Instead of guessing what questions to ask about a lease, you have guidance based on what we've seen through more than 150 studio launches. Instead of writing every job description, agreement, checklist, training process, and operating procedure from a blank page, you have tools you can use. Instead of wondering when to start marketing, how to structure your pre-sale, or what to say to leads, you have a roadmap. That gives you something incredibly valuable. It gives you the ability to spend more of your energy on the parts of the business that actually need you. Your vision, your community, your leadership, your relationships. The things that make your studio special. Because your greatest value as the owner is not answering every email or creating every spreadsheet. Your greatest value is building the business. And imagine what that business could become. Maybe you start with one location. You create an incredible client experience. Your memberships grow. Your classes fill. You develop a team you trust. And eventually, you're no longer teaching because you have to. You're teaching because you want to. Maybe you take Fridays off. Maybe you stop working weekends. Maybe you take a 2-week vacation and the studio keeps running. Maybe you open a second location. Maybe you decide you never want a second location because one profitable studio gives you exactly the life you want. That is the beauty of owning your own brand. You get to decide. You're not required to expand because someone else told you to. You're not forced to offer a class that no longer serves your clients. You are not locked in to someone else's vision or pricing model. You can pay attention to your community and you can evolve with it. Maybe your clients start asking for nutritional support. You can create it. Maybe a recovery becomes a bigger part of your market. You can explore it. Maybe you discover that workshops or private sessions are incredibly profitable for your business. You can add them. Maybe you want to create retreats or events. You can do that too. Your business can grow with you. And there's something else that I think is even more powerful. You get to build a community around your values. If you want your studio to be welcoming to beginners, you can create that. If you want women in their 40s, 50s, and 60s to feel represented, you can create that. If you want your instructors to know every client's name, you can build that into your culture. If you want your studio to be the place where people come, not just to work out, but to feel connected, you can make that part of the experience. That's the kind of business people remember, and it's the kind of business they tell their friends about. The opportunity is so much bigger than simply selling classes. You are creating recurring revenue. You are creating community. You're creating jobs. You're creating an asset. And you are creating something that can potentially give you more choices in your entire life. But there's a big difference between having that possibility and actually building it. That is where experience matters. After more than 150 studio launches, I can tell you that many of the mistakes future studio owners worry about are very predictable, and many of them are really preventable. That doesn't mean every studio is identical, because they're not, but the fundamentals repeat. Financial planning, location, lease, pricing, staffing, marketing, sales, retention, operations, leadership. What those foundations are strong, you give yourself a dramatically better opportunity to build the studio you imagined. That is what Studio in a Box is really about. It's not about taking away your creativity. It's about giving your creativity a strong business foundation. You choose the name, you choose the brand, you choose the classes, the experience, and the culture. You choose the vision. We help you build the systems underneath it so that vision has a much better chance of becoming a successful, profitable Pilates studio or business. And that is exactly what I want for you. I do not want you to just open your doors. I want you to walk into your studio a year or two later and think, I cannot believe I built this. I want you to see full classes, a capable team, happy clients, a healthy business, and a calendar that still leaves room for your life. That is the possibility, and you do not have to build it by yourself. Click below to get your free guide and video about how to open your own successful studio without the fees or rules of a franchise. And if you're serious about opening your own Pilates studio, boutique fitness studio, or wellness business, schedule a free Studio in a Box consultation. Tell me what you want to create, and let's talk about how to turn that vision into a business that is profitable, sustainable, and completely your own.